Welcome back to Chuck D Football TV. Back again with another one. It's a huge Champions League night today. Probably even more exciting than what went on yesterday. We know what went on yesterday. Chelsea versus Barcelona. Barcelona got destroyed 3-0, blah, blah, blah. Which, was like a revenge from probably the last time they played, or however way you want to put it. But today's one is a very big game. Everybody knows the rivalry between. I, I wouldn't say it's like a massive rivalry, but when it comes to European football, like Champions League, Arsenal and Bayern, they have, because these both these teams have played a couple times, and Bayern has, for the longest destroyed Arsenal. We can even look back to the last time they played, which was a couple years ago. Arsenal was even strong. Arsenal was strong. And to a lot of people were thinking Arsenal were actually going to, you know, scale through. But Bayern Munich got the best of Arsenal. And over the years, even during Wenger's time, when I think aggregate Arsenal was beaten like 8-2 or something crazy like that. But now, this is a different Arsenal. This is a different Arsenal. And obviously, this is also a different Bayern. This is arguably the best defensive team in Europe versus the best attacking team in Europe. How will this turn out? How will this turn out? Do you understand? At the moment, it seems like beating Arsenal is a tall tale for any team. Arsenal look in formidable form, like they are complete, starting from their keeper to their defense, to the midfield, to the attack. Do you understand? The only chink in Arsenal's armor, if there's any, would be the attack, right? We would say like since Gyökeres came into the squad, he hasn't really been the Gyökeres that we all saw in Sporting Lisbon, right? But even amidst that, Arsenal still tend to score a lot of goals, and Arsenal have they can't just only score goals from open play. They have that dark arts, in corner kick where they tend to score a lot from set piece play, like corners, free kicks, and all that, especially corners, right? But there's a difference here. The difference is that Gabriel is will be unavailable for this game due to injury. And when you look at Arsenal's season, Gabriel has been a very, very huge um, components to Arsenal's winnings and them maintaining the defensive resolute form that they have. Do you understand? But the thing is that Arsenal have depth. They have one of the best depths in Europe, if not the best. They have at least two or three people for every position. So yes, Gabriel is going to be missed in defense because he's arguably like the best defender in the world, right? Not just defensively, but also when it comes to set pieces, in scoring goals. It's probably the highest goal scoring defender in the world at the moment. So that will be a huge miss for Arsenal. However, they have guys. Arsenal have guys that can come and fill in that position. Guys like Hincapie, guys like Mascara. Ben White can even play center back. Um, um, who else? Ben White can play center back in Kapie, Mascara. They still have Saliba. Um, they have guys that can play that position. Basically, they have they are Arsenal have depth everywhere. Especially in defense. So I don't think that would be like I was trying to remember the name Calafiori. Calafiori has been playing the left back position, but the guy can also play center back. That was what he was playing in his old team before he came to Arsenal. He can play that center back position too if need be. And Miles Lewis Skelly will go to that left back. So Arsenal they are sorted in defense. They will be okay. And even midfield wise, they still have Rice. Rice will be available, who is arguably one of the even not the best midfielder in the world right now. They have Rice, they have Zubimendi, who has been one of the buys of the season. They still have Eze, who is on form, and this is somebody that'll be coming um off a career high, scoring a hat trick in the London derby against Tottenham, on Sunday. So he would want to relieve that high. So in midfield, they have Eze, they have Zubimendi, they have Declan Rice. I even saw Captain Odegaard. I saw Captain Odegaard in training. Who knows if he might start the game or he might come in as a substitute? But I saw him I saw him on Arsenal's Instagram page. He was in training. They still have Merino, and going forward, they have Merino. They have Saka is there. They have Trossard, who has been fantastic. You know, they have Gabriel Jesus is actually back in training. They have Madueke is back as well. Who else do they have? They have Gabriel Martinelli. So they have depth, and some other people I'm not mentioning. And this is even excluding the people that are out for Arsenal with injuries, people like Havertz, Gyökeres. So Arsenal have that depth. This is going to be a very, very interesting game. Yesterday's game was, it was against second place positions in both the La Liga and both the Premier League playing yesterday, and the second placed team, or the second position team in the Premier League, absolutely destroyed the second place team in the La Liga in Barcelona. Today is the first place team in the Premier League against the first place team in the Bundesliga. So it's going to be an end-to-end game. End-to-end game. This game is going to be hot. Two strong teams against with two young coaches that are doing incredible things. Coaches in Vincent Company and Mikel Arteta. So it will be this game. I think it can also be a game of slim margins. If you make too many mistakes, you will pay. And this is a game where both teams have to take their opportunities. Both teams have to take their opportunities, especially Bayern, because you're not going to get a lot of opportunities against Arsenal. And Bayern too, they score a lot of goals. They have Harry Kane, who is on mad form. Olise is on mad form at the moment. And if you remember Harry Kane in Tottenham, he always used to score against Arsenal. The guy likes to score against Arsenal, and the guy is on crazy form at the moment. Crazy form at the moment. So Arsenal, and it's somebody like Harry Kane. It's not that he can only score; he can also assist. He can pass. Olise is very tricky. He's very quick. He can score as well. He can assist. I would like to see. So I would like to see the matchup between Olise and Calafiori. I want to see how that matchup will go. That is one of the matchups I want to see. Unfortunately, uh, Luis wouldn't be playing today due to injury. Luis Diaz won't be playing today due to injury. But you know, Bayern, they still have Sasha Boy, who is really good, really quick, really skillful. They still have him. They still have Serge Gnabry that can play that position. So they are still good. You know, probably Nicholas Jackson, although I doubt he would. You know, guy is useless. I mean, you guys know how I don't rate Nicholas Jackson, but they have Sasha Boy, they have Serge Gnabry, who can cover that position. Very, very good technical, skillful players as well. So in my opinion, I think Serge Gnabry will be the one to start today, since Luis Diaz is out. So I would like that's another um one-on-one one-on-one challenge I would like to see. I would like to see Timber versus Serge Gnabry. I want to see that matchup. I want to see the Calafiori Olise matchup and Serge Gnabry, if Serge Gnabry starts, which I think he would start, Serge Gnabry versus Timber. I would like to see those two matchups. But in midfield, I don't think defensively, I don't think Barcelona. I keep saying Barcelona. I don't think Bayern, at the same level as Arsenal. I think Arsenal dominates them in dominate them defensively. Midfield wise, I think Arsenal too win that midfield in Zubimendi, Rice, and probably Easy. Probably Easy. I think Easy will start that game. If Odegaard is fit, he'll probably come in as a substitute. But I think Easy is going to start that game. And Bayern also have a very, very good midfield. Don't get it twisted. They have a very, very, very good midfield. You know, they have a very good midfield as well in Pavlovic, Goretzka, and Karl. They have a very good midfield too, who has been doing, Leonard Karl. That guy is a baller. Leonard Karl. Go and look that guy up. He's a baller. So they have a very, very good midfield as well. If Leonard Carl, if Leonard Carl doesn't start, they still have Musiala. They have guys like Jamal Musiala, who is incredible on the ball. So they too, Bayern are no joke. And going forward, of course, Harry Kane, Olise. They edge Arsenal in that forward part. But obviously, don't get it twisted. Arsenal too have Bukayo Saka. Arsenal has you know, Merino. I know Merino, my Merino, but he's dude is very good going forward. He's very good. Trossard has been, an unsung hero this season. So it's going to be a very, very end-to-end fire for fire game. A game of slim margins. If you snooze, you lose. If you snooze, you lose. So what is my predicted lineup for? I'll start with Bayern. My predicted lineup will be, so I have it here. Neuer in goal. So I think Bayern are going to play 4-2-3-1. In my opinion, they're going to play 4-2-3-1, and I think they are going to start with Neuer in goal. Start What's his name? Stanisic. And they're going to start. They are going to play Stanisic in that left back. No, in that right back. My bad, Stanisic. But remember, they too, Bayern, they have guys. They have guys. They still have Joshua Kimmich, who can play in that midfield, or he can play in that. He can play center back. He can play right back as well. But I think they'll start with Stanisic. Stanisic as their right back. Then Opamecano and Jonathan Tah in as center backs, and Bishop as their left back. So that will be their back four, in my opinion. Then their two defensive midfielders will be Pavlovic and Goretzka. Those guys are very strong, very physical. They are very good on the ball. They can pass. They hold up play very well, especially Goretzka. And so 4-2-3-1. So the three players ahead of the DMs would be, obviously, in right wing, it will be Olise, who uh, Arsenal have to be mindful of. Arsenal have to be mindful of Olise in this game, because that guy is very dangerous. Calafiori cannot sleep, because if he sleeps, he's in trouble. If he sleeps, he's in trouble, because Olise is very dangerous. Olise is very dangerous, and that has been one thing about Calafiori. The guy has been really, really good going forward. He's really, really good in pivoting into making that pivot into the midfield, right? But somebody like Olise, if you hesitate, you're in trouble. And I won't be shocked if Calafiori doesn't start this game. I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if Ateta starts Luis Kelly over Calafiori for this game. Maybe due to the fact that Luis Kelly is probably a bit more aggressive, a bit more defensive minded, in my opinion. I wouldn't be shocked. So Olise, then Carl. Carl will be playing that in my opinion, he'll be playing that that number 10 role, Leonard Carl. Or if he doesn't start, which I don't see him not starting, it will probably be Jamal Musiala. And then in the at the left wing, it will be, since Luis Diaz isn't available to play today, in my opinion, it will be Serge Gnabry. And that will be, he'll be wanting to make a point because he's an ex Arsenal player. He came from the Arsenal academy, coming to the Emirates, so he would want to prove something. And their number 9, Harry Kane, definitely, except he injures himself during the warm up or something crazy happens. But for the most part, he's probably the first name on the lineup, right? And I think that is how, in my opinion, I think that is how they will line up against Arsenal today. And with Arsenal, I think they are going to go with a 4-3-3. They are going to go with a 4-3-3, standard 4-3-3. Um, in my opinion, you know, so my predicted lineup for Arsenal, just off the top, would be, um, of course, you know, the standard goalkeeper. We all know who that is in goal. Two center backs would be Saliba and Mascara. Saliba and Mascara will play the center back. Left back would be Miles Lewis Kelly. I think Miles Lewis Kelly will start. Now, this is just my opinion. People might look at it like, nah, Calafiori has been playing well. He's been the one starting and all that. I get it. And he might be the one to start. But I think just for maybe more aggression, Miles Lewis Kelly might start that game. Then so that would be right. That would be the left back. Then in the right back position would be Timber, of course. Timber. They like, I don't accept, like, he injures during the warm up or something. That's one is pretty standard. Timber is going to start. Let me list my back, starting from the keeper again. So David Raya, Mascara, Saliba, Miles Lewis Kelly, and you're in Timber. Then in the midfield, I think it's going to also be a standard midfield. Easy at that number 10, Rice and Zubimendi in that three-man midfield. And going forward, I think it's going to be obviously Bukayo Saka, Merino, and Trossard. I think that is what Arsenal is going to start with. Now, I've been seeing Gabriel Jesus back in training, and I really love to see him. I really love to see him play, but I doubt he's going to start. I doubt he's going to play. If he plays, he might come in as a substitute. But I would really love to see that. Ideally, would be the front three. I would love to see. That would be the front three. I would love to see Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Jesus, and Leandro Trossard. But I doubt that is what Ateta is going to do. I think Ateta is going to go for Merino in that number 9, Bukayo Saka, and Leandro Trossard. So that's what I think Arsenal's lineup would be, 4-3-3, with those players. Um, and my score prediction for that game is 2-0 Arsenal. Arsenal is going to win 2-0. Remember yesterday, I said Chelsea was going to win 3-0, but the game ended 3-1. So my prediction was at least 99% correct. I think Arsenal is going to win this game 2-0, and they're going to dominate um, Bayern Munich. I think Arsenal is going to dominate them. I think I wouldn't. When I say dominate, I don't mean complete domination, but I think Arsenal is going to win the game. And I want to see, I want to see two ex Crystal Palace young boys will be meeting up in Eze and Eberechi Eze and Olise, two original Nigerian boys. They'll be meeting, and I'm sure they will want to show out. I'm sure they've probably FaceTimed each other. They probably FaceTimed each other yesterday or today that you see what's going to happen. They've probably been bantering themselves. So both of them will want to show in and show out. And it'll be interesting to see. It will be very, very interesting to see. But let me know what your score prediction for the game is. Let me know, due to the lineups I've made, if you're going to make, what changes are you going to make in your own predicted lineup? Where do you think I went wrong? And let me know in the comment section what your score prediction is or would be for the game against Arsenal versus Bayern Munich, which takes place later today. Thanks for watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and keep it locked on my channel for the post-match reaction on this game. And until next time, guys, thanks for watching. Peace.